Hey guys, it's me, Carl. These are my tips for staying sane while in quarantine. Tune a banjo. Take a nap. It's one of the best ways to kill some time. Boost your confidence by fishing for compliments from a friend.
What about me do you like?
Call your Mama.
No, Mama. Planet of the Apes is not based on a true story.
Make sure to keep good hygiene. Google image TJ Maxx, just for the fun of it. Read a book.
The rum is always gone.
Tell secrets to your dog.
I killed a man.
Think of a new idea, like turning on a lamp. Become a peanut butter monster.
I'm a peanut butter monster.
Get to know your houseplants better.
I once ate 3 dozen eggs in one sitting. I haven't been the same since.
Scream. Take a nap. Start collecting cow manure. Wow, what a stack. But then realize you're not supposed to be outside, so quickly run back inside. Self-reflect. Is this really me? How did I end up in this body? What even is a body? And how are we all in these bodies on this giant rock floating through infinite space of nothingness? A dark, vast, cold, eternal nothingness. And then you realize how hungry you are. Cook an egg. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these tips for staying sane while in quarantine. It's obviously helping me, so I'm sure it'll help you. Seriously, I've never been better.
Sometimes I'm afraid of the dark. To be honest, I've never seen a baby pigeon. I think Power Rangers is actually a really good show, and it was before its time. I haven't paid my taxes in 10 years. To be honest, I don't even know what a tax is. At this point, I'm just too afraid to ask. Turtles actually freak me out. To be honest, I lost my toothbrush about a month ago.
Hey, Anthem.
Hey, guys.
So we are on week something. I think it's week 7 that my kids have been home from school, but the first week was spring break, so I don't know if that counts.
Wow.
So, had a little pre-quarantine.
Day 45. Day 45. Isn't that crazy?
Day 45 of quarantine. Yes.
Oh, my.
So, hope you're all doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
We're doing
We don't really
awesome.
have anything to complain about.
We rock that quarantine life.
Yeah. 2 introverts, we're handling it. So
Put me in the woods. I don't need to see anyone for a year.
Yeah.
So, except for you guys. I miss you guys.
Yes, we do miss you guys. And a lot of you have been reaching out. We've had some visitors from a distance.
Yeah, that's
We've
cool.
had cards and things that have been dropped off, and just FaceTime and different things. So it's been good to hear from you all and to know you're thinking about us and we're thinking about you. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, and seeing people face to face just reminds us of what it'll be like to get back together. Because we're just, my brain at least is just focusing in on summer camp. It's got to be over by then.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be over. I don't care what's going on. It's got to be done by then because we got to go to camp.
So while you're quarantined, we're going to go ahead and start the media challenge.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that? Oh, that'd be terrible. You're quarantined with no media. Oh, that's rough. So hopefully it's done before all of that nonsense. But don't forget that summer camp is coming. So you should have already, your parents, I should say.
Yes.
Your parents should have already gotten an email with your student account information, like how much money you have towards camp and stuff. You should have a link to how to register. So registration for camp is completely online this year.
Yes.
No paper. We're saving the rainforest.
Ooh, no notary.
No notary stamp necessary. That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Jesus.
Yes, that's good. And so it's completely online. So there should be a link in your parents' email. If you didn't receive that, get a hold of me. I probably don't have your email. Okay. You can obviously always go to camptablerock.com, find the Iowa camp, and it's week 2 we're going to go to. Week 2. Don't go week 1. You'll be going by yourself.
Yeah.
Which would be boring. Yeah, go with us. Week 2.
Well, most of you.
And so make sure you register online. And when you register there, it sends me a thing. So I'll see that you registered. And we'll deal with the money later. Okay. So this is this kind of a no risk. Now don't sign up to go to camp if you don't think you can go.
If you for sure know you're not going.
Yeah. But if you're if you're planning on going to camp, register and we'll deal with the money as we get closer, as we're guaranteed to have it. Okay. Because obviously
invite a friend.
Yeah, dude, invite a friend.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think, man, teens are going to need summer camp this year. Like you haven't seen each other forever. Everything's canceled. No sports, no anything.
Rag Brothers canceled. Tulip Time's canceled. The state fair's
it's in the air.
Yeah. So
you're going to want to be at camp. So be there and invite your friends that are missing people, right, to come to camp.
They won't have any excuses this year not to go.
Yeah. So definitely get to camp. And just for fun, let's see the camp highlight video one more time. Guess what time it is?
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
That's right.
We have been putting your name in the pizza picker, which is now what it's called. And we are going to pick who's getting a pizza. See how that works out? Now, you get your name in this pizza picker if you participate in the chat during our videos, or if you comment there directly after. So if you haven't seen your name in here, but you're like, what the heck? I've been watching this stupid thing every week.
I've been enduring this, hoping to win a pizza.
I've been enduring the torment for a pizza. You have to comment or chat, okay? Even if you just say, hey, I'm here and I'm watching, you'll get yourself in the picker, okay? So let's see who's winning a pizza this week. Are you ready, honey?
I'm so ready.
Let's see it. You might see your name in there if you participated in the chat last week. Lots of names. And the winner is my boy, Colton Anderson.
Colton.
Hey, Colton, make sure you're watching the door for a pizza man. He'll be wearing a hat with pizza on it.
Made out of pizza.
Made out of pizza. And he'll have a box with pizza in it. So make sure you answer that door. I think I know your favorite type of pizza.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out if I do or not. Okay, so again, if you want to be in that chat, if you want to be in the picker, make sure you comment in the chat right now. In the chat. Okay. So we're throwing back to when we first started these videos, like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
We're running out of content on week 6 or 7 here.
So if you've been stumbling upon something that's just really funny that you think we should, highlight, send me an email. Yeah. Or a text.
Funny quarantine
or a TikTok. Yeah, that'd be good. Quarantine jokes.
I tried to find some, but I only found like one.
So we're going back to memes. Okay, we've been stumbling upon a few more memes in the last few weeks.
They're getting worse.
They're not as funny, but we're going to make them funny as well.
There's lots of really funny ones that are funny to us.
Old people. Yeah, they're funny to old people.
You won't like them.
Yeah, we'll see how you like them. So you know how, all the time, like celebrities are hopping on TikTok or they're getting on whatever, and we're all in this together. Quarantine life, we'll get through this. Let's bond together
from their mansion.
From their mansion. So this is the meme we saw. Celebrities, we're all in the same boat. Here's their boat, and here's our boat. It's like this little paddleboard with an umbrella. while they're in their mansions. We're all in this together. We're all in the same boat.
It's exactly the same.
Here's another one. You've probably been doing some online distance learning.
Yeah.
You probably fall into one of these two categories right here. My students have basically fallen into two categories. Which one are you? Okay, tell us in the chat. 1, completing all of the assignments and begging for more. Or 2, you still haven't logged in yet.
I'm sure most of you probably fall somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you've probably done a little bit.
It'd be interesting. You got to pick a side, though. Which one are you closer
haven't
to?
Logged in yet. Okay, this next one is really funny. Lindsay, you read this one for us.
All right. Me. This show is boring. Boss. Again, this is a Zoom conference.
We're just so used to just watching things on our screens. And so, yeah. This show's boring.
Or maybe it's you, teacher. Again.
Yeah, this is Zoom learning. This isn't a show. If a bag is not resealable, then it contains 1 serving. I don't make the rules. If it's not resealable, you should eat it in
there
one
are some
sitting.
dumb things that aren't resealable. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
like a bag of potato chips. I think you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
Why have they not figured out how to put a resealable like Ziploc on a bag of potato chips? But they put them on things like a bag of chocolate chips. They do at our house because I get in those often.
Well, there's the off-brand. But yeah, the off-brand chocolate chips has a zip.
That's where it's
thing.
at.
You guys are really concerned about this. I know.
Sorry about getting on a rant about chocolate chips. Okay, here's our next meme. Your screen time for the last week was 6 years.
How many of you get those? Like I get them on Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
And it tells me how many hours of screen time I had. Actually, mine hasn't really changed too terribly much because I'm home during the week anyway.
Mine said mine was down last week, but
yeah,
I don't know how that could be.
I don't know either.
Watching a different screen, maybe. 6 years. Here's the next meme. Linz.
When do we usually find out who the kids will have for teachers next year? I hope it's not me again. There are some people that have been blessed with a homeschool gene, and I applaud you. You are a saint. I was not gifted that way.
Yeah, we're just hoping we're wearing jeans.
Yeah. This morning, Eli's teacher FaceTimed with him for handwriting, and he like happily wrote W's for like 15 minutes with her. But like if I was doing it, he'd be like, "This is dumb. I hate this. So stupid." And he chucks his pencil, and I have to go pick it up. And he broke the eraser off in like a fit of rage, like full Hulk mode many times. So I really hope I'm not their teacher next year.
Okay, here we go. How about this? Y'all, I don't think we would have made good pioneers.
No.
Right? Like depending on yourself.
Churn your own butter.
Yeah, like just you have to survive his life.
Go
you
out
know,
and shoot your own dinner.
yeah, it's like if it wasn't for Walmart
Somebody would
pickup,
be
how
good
would
at
any
that.
of you survive without Walmart pickup? Okay. After seeing how the public panics over coronavirus, I can see why the government would never tell us about aliens. I'm telling you.
They don't trust us. We can't handle it.
Aliens. Think about it.
Anyone else starting to get a tan from the light in the fridge? That is not how that works, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that light often. I've been seeing that
a
light
little bit
often.
more than usual. I'm not sure why, but
This is a good one that old people will like. The drop in gas prices during a stay-at-home order is like a bald man winning a comb. It's true. The gas prices have gone down and down and down.
even you students who drive,
And
like
yet-
you gotta appreciate the gas prices right now.
Yeah, you can't really go anywhere.
Nope.
But-
That same tank of gas has lasted 3 weeks.
Now, you remember when you were a little kid, and maybe you don't, but I do. When you think about the year 2020, it just seemed like such a futuristic year. Like we're definitely
when we were kids.
we're definitely having hover cars and we're having jetpacks. And so this meme says, "This is the 2020 I wanted," this very futuristic looking thing. And this is the 2020 I got.
Hey, that's smart
A man
though.
at the grocery store with 6-foot pool noodles to keep distance. That's actually a pretty good idea. But not quite the 2020 we thought we were going to be getting, right? Well, I hope you've enjoyed our memes today as much as we
Or not.
have
but,
enjoyed them. But we're glad that you are with us tonight. Hope you enjoy the rest.
Yeah.
See ya. All right, so this is the Best Friend Challenge, and today we're going to see who knows me better, my wife or my mother. Now, Lindsay's been my wife for 10 years, but she's been my mother for 32 years, so we're about to find out what has paid off more. Okay? So here's how this game
hard
will
up
work.
for friends.
The only 2 friends that I have.
No, just
So this is how the game works, okay? I have 8 questions, and I have my answers already on my sheet. I'll read you a question. You write down the answer of what you think I would answer. Okay, and then I'll show my answer to them, and then you both reveal your answers, and we'll see who gets the most correct.
Okay.
That work out?
that works.
Okay, any questions?
I don't think
Y'all
so.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is this. Okay. What is my go-to late night snack? Now this is if it's in the house, okay, or whatever. What's my go-to late night snack? Okay, they think they know. Here is the real answer, everyone. You see that?
No, that was my other option.
And what did they say? They both said cereal, which...
Is it your
That's
go-to
pretty-
if you eat it once out of 30 times?
Oh, this is going to be one of those you tell me what I actually am. I didn't know that's how this game worked. Pizza rolls is the go-to if it's in the house, but cereal is typically in the house. So that's what we're doing there. She's already angry. She's already angry.
It's your
We thought
favorite.
There's a potential that there'd be
We really do know you. Cereal is your go-to.
That
Yeah.
could be.
Your
could be
favorites change from day to day. It's just whatever mood you're in when you're answering.
true. So not true.
It
But
is
pizza
true.
rolls do sound good right now.
Oh, Mom.
Okay, second question. What's my most embarrassing bad habit? My most embarrassing bad habit. Okay, and you'll have just you have to write something. You have just a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds to write. Now this could be embarrassing on me to see what they have to write.
You're gonna have more than one.
Now I'm gonna have all kinds of bad habits I didn't know about. I think we'll change it up. Let's all reveal at the same time. How about that?
Okay.
The answer was none. I don't have any embarrassing bad. Opening your nostrils and touching your beard. Those aren't embarrassing. I do open my nostrils like this a lot.
It looks like he's picking his nose, so he
I have
should be embarrassed.
I have small nasal cavities. I can't breathe in my nose.
I think he must only do that at home. I've not seen him
But
do
the
that.
real
I'm always
answer,
like, do you
none.
need a Kleenex? And he's
Obviously,
like,
none is the real answer.
that's not true. Okay, just because you're not embarrassed doesn't mean you should be.
We were embarrassed to write it.
Okay, let's see how well you know me. Both of you would have been around for this. What was my first car? My first car. Remember what it was? Lynn thinks she knows.
All our students should know this too, because
Sure,
you've
should they?
talked about this in many messages.
They might know. Okay, the answer is a 98 Dodge Avenger. Red Dodge Avenger, Dodge Avenger Red. Points to both of
Yes.
you. Excellent work. Points to both.
I couldn't remember what year it was, but
98. No one said that either. We'll see how in tune you are with with me. Okay? You guys are gonna hate this question. What number am I thinking right now between 1 and 5,000? Between 1 and 5,000, what number am I thinking of? See if you can get into my brain.
yeah.
I won't ask you why I'm thinking of this number. Any day, Linz. Okay, the answer is 2,225. What did you say? 180. So you're closer, still a couple thousand off. 2,225.
Why were you thinking that number?
Well, the Vikings draft picks, number 22 and 25. So
Oh my gosh. I don't know that information though.
Okay.
that's not my fault if you don't know me.
Okay.
Okay.
I did your football number though.
Yeah, that's right. Favorite football number. Okay. Ooh, this is good because it's almost lunchtime as we're recording this. We're going to Wendy's. What am I ordering? We're going to Wendy's. What am I getting? Now this can be difficult because I don't always get the same thing, but a lot of times I do. So we'll see what they say, if they know what I would order. They'll probably all answer something that I would eat, but what am I ordering? You ready, Linz? You don't have to write a novel.
This is what you would order.
There's no extra credit. Okay, the answer is spicy chicken. Oh, it doesn't sound like either of you got that.
No, I did.
Barbecue cheeseburger. I did get that this week. Spicy chicken sandwich meal with no vegetables with a Coke.
Good job, Linz.
Nailed it.
But he did get a barbecue
Nailed it.
cheeseburger just the other day.
Just yesterday.
Sandwich has an H on the end.
Yeah.
Just one of the
Sandwich.
H brothers, right, Eli?
Barbecue spicy chicken sandwich. Okay, number, I don't even know. Number 6.
I don't like when he laughs.
If there was a signature candle scent based on me,
Oh my goodness.
what would my candle scent be? What would my signature candle scent be? Don't spend too long. Keep a captive audience here. My signature candle scent. Now be careful now. Don't offend me. Signature candle scent. And there obviously is a right answer. This is already in the works with the Yankee candle makers. Producing a
I haven't got a
Pastor Andy
clue.
scent.
So
The scent would be sawdust with maple syrup. What'd you say, Linz? Pizza rolls and Old Spice deodorant.
I just said woodsy.
Woodsy.
Hey, that's closer.
That's closer. That is closer. Sawdust, maple syrup.
I think that would
woodsy.
smell good. I'd like
Sawdust
to actually.
maple syrup?
Yeah, I think
I
that would.
think that would smell
I think
good
it's
too.
a great scent.
I think so too.
You should send that
We're
in.
gonna give you one for woodsy because sawdust and maple would be from the woods.
I didn't know, so I just went.
Yeah, send that to Yankee.
What was yours?
Pizza rolls and Old Spice.
Ugh, that's not a good combination.
That's probably
Okay.
what you do smell like.
Number 7. We're getting down to the end here. Number 7 is, I forgot. What's my all-time favorite band? All-time favorite band.
Oh no, I should know this.
Yeah, you probably should know this. All-time favorite band.
I don't know if they're a band or a group.
You ready? Oh, band and a group, same thing. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is DC Talk. They know me. They know me. DC Talk. They're awesome. I think they're going on tour this summer.
We're.
That's what I've heard.
Find
at
out
least.
if they still are.
And if they do, I'm going for sure. And the last one. The last question. It's crucial. You should know this. If I were a Disney princess, who would I be? If I were a Disney princess,
I don't
who
know
would
how
I
to
be?
Oh dear.
I don't know how to spell this one, so.
No cheating. No cheating.
I don't know if this is true or not.
If I were a Disney princess.
I might have spelled this wrong.
Well, don't say too much. The answer is Pocahontas. Cinderella? Why would you think I'd be Cinderella?
It's the only Disney character I can think of.
Lynn's was right.
Brag the riches.
Pocahontas, baby.
right.
Colors of the Wind. Hey, that was fun. Thanks for playing with me. I wonder how many of you guys got right. Make sure you tell me in the comments how many you got right to see if you know me. All right, see ya.
Hello there, Anthem. I am Elliot Adam. You may or may not have seen me at youth group. I'd just like to wish you an encouraging word. I know that this corona stuff can be kind of hard and the social distancing and all, but it's okay. We can work through it. And I hope to see you all again soon.
I want you to think about one question tonight. What would your life look like if you gave God 100%? What if you completely gave in to God's plan and His purpose for your life? And fast forward to the end of your life. What would people say about you in the life you lived? What would they talk about when they thought about the things that you accomplished for God? It's something that we should always have at the forefront of our brain of how can I continue to serve God? When I was in high school, I played football, and to say I played football is a little bit of a stretch on the word played. I mostly sat and watched other people play football. But one thing I certainly did was practice. Even though you don't play on Friday night, you certainly have to practice just like everyone else. And I enjoyed practice, and I loved playing. But at the end of every practice was conditioning. And conditioning is just not right in my wheelhouse, not something I love to do. And one of the worst things that we always had to do was run Big Bertha. Now, if you go to Oskaloosa High School, you know what Big Bertha is. But if you don't, Big Bertha is this humongous hill in the back of the school. And it was close to the practice fields for us. And we would have to go and we'd have to run Big Bertha. Sometimes we'd have to bear crawl Big Bertha. And I remember, you start off and you have this attitude of, okay, we got to do this, we're going to get it done, and 2, 3, 4 times up this hill, especially having to bear crawl it, and you're starting to say, I think I might need to fake an injury. I think I might just quit football altogether. I don't know if I can go anymore. My legs are burning, my arms are burning, I'm sweating, I can't breathe, I can't do this anymore, and you're faced with this option. Do I persevere and keep going, or do I quit? And so we're going to talk about that question that we all have to answer. Am I going to stop, or am I going to keep going? Andy Mineo has something to say about that. Check this out.
I'm making, saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick, never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive, you will never be mentioned. Why aim so high, won't survive the trenches. Plus, you a Christian, Andy, they will never listen, Andy. Plus, we a pigment, Andy. You don't got skill, you a gimmick, Andy. Well, if I listen to you and everything you put in my ear, I'll be living like woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'll be paralyzed by fear. Ain't that the truth? If I quit, the only way I lose, I got 2 choices when I do this: make moves or make excuses. If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and He on my side. That's the confidence I got, 'cause He got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me.
So in that verse, he says the line, I got 2 choices to make. Do I make moves or make excuses? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Are you going to make moves with your life, or are you going to just make excuses for not following Him? We're all going to face the decision of, do I keep going? Am I going to be all in for God, or am I going to make excuses and I'm not going to do what He's called me to do? Excuses, they come easy when things get difficult. When God calls you to live a life that's different than the rest of the world, it's easy to make an excuse. Well, I don't want to stand out, and that's too difficult, and why would I have to do this? It's easy to make an excuse when he's calling you to go out of your way to love those that are unlovable. Oh, I can't do that. That's embarrassing for me. What if people would see me do that? What if God calls you to give until it hurts? Oh, well, how am I going to take care of myself? And I want to make sure that I'm financially stable. And what if God, what if he calls you to share your faith with someone else? Oh, well, I don't want to offend them, or I don't want to embarrass them or embarrass myself. And it's really easy to make excuses to not follow God. So the question that we need to answer tonight is, are you going to make moves or make excuses? So we're going to jump into Scripture and see what the Apostle Paul can teach us about this. So we're going to be in Acts 14 tonight, and the passage is from 8 to verse 20, and we're going to kind of jump through it pretty quickly, but I'm just going to start reading for you. Here's Acts 14, verse 8, and we're going to go through 20. It says this: While they were at Lystra, okay, it's a city, Paul and Barnabas came upon a man with crippled feet. He had been that way from birth, so he had never walked. He was sitting and listening as Paul preached. Looking straight at him, Paul realized he had faith to be healed. So Paul called to him in a loud voice, "Stand up." And the man jumped to his feet and started walking. When the crowd saw what Paul had done, they shouted in their local dialect, "These men are gods in human form." Okay, so they thought he was Zeus, and they thought that Barnabas was Hermes, and they actually, I think that was the other way around. But because of their belief system in their region, okay, they believed in Greek mythology, and so they couldn't believe what they had just seen, and so they thought they were gods in human form. But in verse 14, here's what they say. But when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard what was happening, they tore their clothing in dismay and ran out among the people shouting, "Friends, why are you doing this? We are merely human beings just like you. We have come to bring you the good news that you should turn from these worthless things and turn to the living God who made heaven and earth, the sea, and everything in them." In verse 19, it says this: Then some Jews arrived from Antioch and Iconium and won the crowds to their side. They stoned Paul and dragged him out of town, thinking he was dead. But as the believers gathered around him, he got up and he went back into town. I mean, think about how crazy this is. The people see Paul call out to a crippled man, "Hey, stand up," and he does. He stands up and he walks, and they just see this miracle happen. But again, the religious leaders did not like that, and so they pushed back against it. They got the crowd stirred up into a frenzy. They got him on their side. They pull Paul out of town. They stone him to death. Well, little they know that he wasn't actually dead, but he was just right there on death's doorstep. The believers start praying around him, and he gets back up, and he goes back into town. Here's a couple things I think we can learn from Paul. Okay, one thing is, hard times isn't a reason to serve God part-time. We're going to face difficult things in our lives, but if we choose to back away from hard things and not go at them face head on, it robs us of that best season of growth in our lives. When we are facing difficult things and really going through trials, that's the time that we draw the closest to God and grow the most with Him. So you can't turn back and run away. There is more for you. And if you believe in God, you have to believe that His Word is true. And if it's true, you have to believe things like this. In Isaiah 54, it says, "No weapon formed against you will prosper." And in Romans 16, it says, "The God of peace will crush Satan under your feet." In Romans 8, it says, "You are more than conquerors through Christ who loves you." Revelation 12 says, "You overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of your testimony." So if we believe that when God calls us to do something, our only answer should ever be yes. Whatever He asks, yes. Before He asks, yes. I'm all in with you because I believe you are with me. So when we believe that, when we understand that God is with us and we can't be stopped, okay, because we're living into what God has called us to. Number two is when you're all in, you always go back for more. When you're all in, you always go back for more. So here's Paul. He's lying as good as dead on the outside of town. The believers pray for him. He gets up, okay, which, I mean, just seems like a miracle. Like we think he's going to die. He gets up, but he doesn't stop there. He goes back into the city, it says in verse 20. He got up and went back into the city. He's going back for more. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't shut him up. He's going back for more. Hey, when you think that you can't go anymore, go back for more. When they think they've shut you up, go back for more. When they've rejected you again, go back for more. When they think that you're going to split and run and stop pursuing what God's called you to do, go back for more. That's exactly what Paul did. He went back for more. So here's what it says in verse 21. After preaching the good news in Derbe, which is another town, and making many more disciples, Paul and Barnabas returned to Lystra, where they strengthened the believers. Okay, and then 2 chapters later, okay, Paul is going to go on his second missionary journey. Okay, and it says that Paul first went to Derbe and then to Lystra. He went back again. Okay, so he didn't stop after he got stoned nearly to death. He went back for more. And why did he go back for more? I think he went back for more because he knew my third point of this message. Okay, he went back for more because your greatest influence happens when you go back for more. That's when your biggest influence happens. After they've seen you be persecuted, they've seen you keep coming back, they've seen you getting beat up and rejected, and yet you're not going to stop. Okay, so it was really cool that he got up and went back into Lystra to continue the good work. But in Acts 16, we start to see how his actions made a big difference. And here's what it says in Acts 16, 1 through 4. It says, Paul went first to Derbe and then to Lystra, where there was a young disciple named Timothy. His mother was a Jewish believer, but his father was a Greek. Timothy was well thought of by the believers in Lystra, so Paul wanted him to join them on their journey. When they went from town to town, instructing the believers to follow the decisions made by the apostles and elders in Jerusalem. Okay, so this is Timothy, right? Paul's right-hand man. He took the hardest city to spread the gospel, and he saw the early church explode under his leadership. You know, Timothy, the same guy who has 2 books of the Bible named after him. Timothy saw Paul preach, heal, get stoned to death, get back up and persevere and preach the gospel. And I can't help but wonder the impact that Paul's faithfulness had on Timothy. You know, what would have happened if Paul would have got stoned nearly to death and got up and said, you know what, forget it. You know, they're on their own. I'm not going back. What would have happened to Timothy? Would Timothy have had that same zeal for the Lord? You know, what's the impact that you can have on someone because of your faithfulness? You know, we'll really probably never know the impact of our faithfulness, our impact of our obedience to God, and how that changes the world around us and changes the people that see us. You know, we don't know, but God knows, and He's counting on us for our obedience. So I just want to urge you tonight, okay? Stop making excuses, right? And start making moves. Live your life on purpose. You know, speak life into a culture of death. And, you know, open your Bible, the source of all of life, and let it speak into you and let it transform you. And living this way means that you're going to be living your life from a place of power and of love and of sound mind. And, you know, it means you bury your fears down deep and you face giants head on, and you acknowledge that there's something far greater inside of you that even your mind can comprehend, and you're a part of a mission that is bigger than you. And it's knowing that your gifts and your calling will impact and bless the world. It's killing habits that will drain you and take life away from you, and it's setting yourself up for success. And it's finding the hardest, most desolate ground where nothing will grow, and it's going in and getting your hands dirty, and you're going to continue to work the ground and plant the seed until something will grow. Paul says in Philippians, he says, I press on towards the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Keep going. Don't quit. God has called you to something meaningful. You have purpose for your life. He didn't make you on accident. He doesn't make junk. You're not a mistake. He has something for you to do. But there's so many excuses that we can come up with that would cause us to not live into the full potential that God has for you. Here's what Andy Mineo says in his chorus. He says, they try to shut us down, and it ain't gonna slide. The only thing I fear is God, and he's on my side. That's the confidence of God, because he's got me. And that's why I really feel like you can't stop me. I hope you feel that way. God is on your side. You can't stop me from doing what God has called me to do. Students, I encourage you, hey, grow with Christ. Connect with others and serve like Jesus. Make moves, don't make excuses. Let's pray. God, I just pray that you would work in an incredible way through the lives of our teenagers. God, that they would feel emboldened and empowered to share your gospel, to love those that are unlovable, that would show compassion on those that need it, that would share hope in the darkness. God, that they would continue to grow into their spiritual maturity, that they would become more and more like you, that they would dig into your word, that they would worship you at all times. God, I pray that they would set the example for the church and the world for how to live and how to lead and how to love. God, I just pray that you would put a special blessing on each and every teenager and adult leader. God, we want your glory to be seen, not for us, but for you. God, we don't care if our names are ever mentioned in the history books. We just want people to know your name because it gives life and it gives hope and it brings freedom. And God, you are so good, and we thank you that you choose to love us. It's in your precious and holy Son's name we pray all of this. In your name we pray. Amen. Hey guys, thanks for joining us again this week on Anthem Live. We will see you next time. Does it look straight? Dan, look at the camera. Does it look all right? DJ doesn't have confidence in his own abilities.
Wave around like you just don't care.
You don't wear the mullet, you got to live the life.
It should be this. Threes forever. I think it's okay.
Welcome to my world.
Anyway.
Quarantine. Day 45. That's right, isn't it? Hello.
If you include spring break, next week is 7 weeks that the kids have been out of school.
Sponsored by... No. Diet Mountain Dew is so bad. I mean...
I don't like any Mountain Dew.
Yum. Today on the Andy and Lindsay podcast, Lindsay will be giving you 5 tips and tricks for being a better person. Hit that bell, smash that like. Stupid. Don't laugh, DJ. We're going to start. Let's do this thing. Hey, Anthem.
He said, let's start 4 times. And then he just so I keep thinking we're not starting.
Here we go. Why don't you just start talking? Let's just see how it goes. Ready? You count us. You're in charge. Like in the rest of life.
I can't do it.
You can. You can. You're just a walking personality. Let's do it.
It's probably different now. Okay.
I'll be the eye candy this week.
Oh, geez. All right. Stop.
Okay.
All right.
Give me 100%. All you got.
Look how far you.
You're in the end zone, Brock. You're in the end zone. I've got to be there. You're in the end zone. Who doesn't think about pizza in the bathroom? I don't.
Oh, yeah.